Hi everyone. I wanted to make another video in which I talk about a couple more writing tips I have that it will help you in general, but will also be useful for revising Writing Project 2. The theme of this video is going to be analysis. A good place to start might be just the definition of analysis. To analyze something means to break it down into its parts, and then to look at what the parts are doing, how they're influencing each other, how they're interacting with each other, and then drawing some sort of conclusion from those little details. So as an example, in Writing Project 2, you looked at these images, and your images are collections of details. You know, who are the models, what do they look like, what are they wearing, what is their body language, how are they interacting with each other. And once you have broken the image down into those specific details, you can then start asking yourself, well, what are these details doing? What are they potentially showing us? How are they potentially influencing the viewer? And from there, you can start drawing conclusions about what your images, what the significance of your images are. The next tip, and this goes along with the first one, is when conducting analysis, you typically want to start pretty specific and pretty narrow, and then once you have fully addressed those specific details, then you can start zooming out a little bit and making broader claims. So for instance, again with Writing Project 2, in your analysis paragraphs, you want to begin by looking at the specific details. And once you have fully analyzed those details, then it's okay to start zooming out and talking about how your images or images like them are potentially impacting society as a whole, or that would be a good time for you to make claims about advertisements in general or about the companies that produce them. In Writing Project 2, a theme that I saw was not a ton of attention being paid to the details, the specifics of the image, and maybe too much time spent on making very broad claims about society, about people, about companies, about advertisements. You can make those sorts of claims, but you want to first start small, start with the specifics, and once you've built an argument based on your specific analysis, then you can start making the broader cultural analysis. Along my next tip then is to make sure that you're fully explaining your thoughts. And this is true in pretty much any type of writing that you do. It doesn't just have to be for research or academic writing. A tip that I like to give people is you want to pretend as if your reader is not very smart. Now, typically they are, especially in academic writing. In academic writing, the person reading your work is often highly educated and very well informed. But the ideas that are clear in our heads often make a lot more sense to us than they do to other people. So you actually have to go through a lot of work to translate what's in your head to someone else. So you sort of have to hold their hand, sort of guide them through your process. How did you reach your claims? What led you to the conclusions that you are making? That was another trend that I saw in Writing Project 2, was not fully explaining your thought processes, and also making probably too big of claims about things. You want to be careful about generalizing, making very general, broad statements, because those sorts of things are often incorrect. If you want to make a generalization about society or people, you typically want to back that up with a source of some kind, and that would be a good time to use your lens text. But I saw that a lot in Writing Project 2, making these sort of like bold, big statements that weren't being supported by a source. I think that is it for this video. I may make another depending on other things that I see, but I wanted to share that with you.